Hi, I'm the creator of The Whipping Witch and Omneiris, and today I will be drawing a green witch. So far in November, I have drawn a red witch, an orange witch, and a yellow witch, inspired by November. And I am now on to green. Now I have decided to associate each color to a coven of the witches of Omneiris. And each coven has its own magic. And the green witches have cursing magic. So they can basically make bad things happen to you. Now they can't really choose exactly what happens. It's more of a generic thing, like bad luck follows you. And it's, well, kind of hexes or malediction, I suppose. I haven't fully thought it through right now. It's mostly like brainstorming so far. But yes, it's in the making, but I do like that idea. Green is the color that I have the most of in alcohol markers, fine liners, paint markers. So I have a lot of art supplies to go through for this video, and the thing is, I did not have that many ideas for the illustration. So, well, there's some layering and putting the colors and gradients, and I'm just putting all the art supplies on there. But it was a bit more challenging than the previous illustrations. But at the same time, for all the previous illustrations, I've had more and more art supplies each time. And green is the one with the most art supplies. Blue is the second one with the most art supplies. And then it's going down again with purple, pink. And it's going back up for my greys. I have more greys than pinks. So yes, for this series of illustration, I've decided to include animals for each witch. And for green, I decided to go for snakes, because they're green. And I don't know, they bite, they can be venomous or something, so like, I thought it was fitting. And I've also been trying to like make each witch have her own body type and facial features. Like I want them to look different. I'm trying to flee from same face syndrome. And so I tried to make her face a little bit triangular with a flat nose and half closed eyes. Whoa, I can't speak, to mimic a snake's face. And then I did include some ivy on her hip and hanging from her belt, because like there's poison ivy, and once again there's this theme of poison and dangerous things in this illustration, so I thought it was fitting once again, even though I think I mentioned that in a previous video, I don't remember which one, but nature in Omneiris is mostly blue. So like I'm not sure that ivy would be green. But I also mentioned that I didn't fully care about it, and that it's just shapes that I associate with this color, and not the actual thing. And these are illustrations showing Omneiris, but they were not made in Omneiris, if that makes sense. So it's fine. Another thing I mentioned in a previous video is that witches communicate with each other when they are far apart with lanterns. And so each witch has her own lantern that they build when they are children, shortly before their magic first manifests. And I tried, and well, I think I managed to give all of them different lantern shapes. because everybody is unique, and the witches build their own lanterns to fit their tastes. So, yeah, her lantern kind of looks like a dagger, and she just keeps it hanging there. Really like the color of the lanterns, a real nice contrast. And for the background, I was actually inspired by Aurora Borealis, I think it's called. I should probably do more research before I start making videos in English, because sometimes I only remember the French. Aurore Boreale. There. But yeah, and once again, it was mostly inspired by the color more than the symbolism or anything like that. But I thought it was somewhat fitting, and there's a lot of folklore in the Northern Europe and stuff where you can see those Aurora Borealis. I hope it's cool there. I really don't feel like recording this again after looking it up, so we'll just keep it there and hope it's right. And then there are more leaves in the background, snakes, and some veins, I think. The veins of vines, I suppose. It could be either. But once again, a little bit of like things that spread either in your bloodstream or on trees and things. Like it grows everywhere and it takes over things. So that works with curses. Something that I found really, well, I guess funny is not the correct word for it, but let's just use that, is that I have, well, varied shades of green I used, and some of them look really blue compared to some of the other greens I have. And, well, it looks blue on this illustration, but then I've already drawn the blue illustration when I'm recording this, and when I put the two illustrations next to each other, it clearly looks green. But when I'm just using green art supplies, I can't really think of it as green, because that's just not enough to place my colors and to make choices. So like I have greenish bluish greens, sorry, I have yellowish greens, I have, well, dark and light, I suppose, and then I have some desaturated tones. And quickly it becomes just blue and yellow, instead of bluish green and yellowish green. And what's funny is that in the blue illustration that will come up next, I have markers that look really green compared to the other blues, but it's still clearly blue when you put it next to the green illustration. But yeah, I have so many green art supplies that I couldn't even fit all of them, well, all the paint markers, fine liners, and colored pencil on the same side of my drawing. I had to put my colored pencils on the right. And, but I haven't had to do that well, so far. So, yeah. Should probably try to use more green if I have so much variety. It's not really a color I use. I really like purple and blue. But I do have some really nice greens. Something to think about. Ooh, I almost always forget to mention that each coven of witches has their own tattoo to symbolize their magic and which coven they belong to. And for the curse witches, I have no idea what to call them actually. I don't have proper names for the covens. But yeah, the witches who do curses, they have dark eyelids. And that's kind of like something to remind them that they should not abuse their power. That is something I mentioned in another video. Go look at them if you haven't seen them. But the witches have like really powerful magic that they could very easily use for wrong things, like for evil or bad. And they don't, because they're pacific species and they're just trying to help, really. They're nice people. But they do have a rule book, I suppose, and well, rules in general to follow, so they do not abuse their power. And the tattoos are kind of a reminder of what's at stake and who they are, what they belong to. That sounded weird. Which, like, a reminder of their coven and their origins, and well, who they are. So, yes, it's not makeup on her eyelids, it's tattoos. That sounds painful. Oof. And it is done. I guess I once again had dirty nibs on my paint markers that I had to clean up on the masking tape. Well, here's it. Oh. Here's the close-up of my green witch. And as usual, here is everything I've used for this illustration. And boy, was that a lot. Like, it barely fit in the frame. Anyway, thank you for watching and stay tuned for part 5.